Welcome to today's explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here with us right now because we're looking at a truly fascinating piece of historical narrative. We're going to break down a really popular parable concerning the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and examine exactly what it teaches us about ethical leadership, compassion, and, well, the human response to malice. It's a story that has literally been passed down and discussed for generations. So by looking directly at our source material today, we're going to explore exactly why this prophet's model of mercy resonates so deeply with so many people. Think about it for a second. How do you respond to relentless hostility? I mean, imagine facing daily, targeted malice, like someone actually going out of their way every single day just to disrespect you, right? Our natural human instinct is usually to fight back, to get angry, or, demand justice. But what if there was a completely different approach? Okay, let's dive into this and see how our source material presents an alternative reaction. Section 1, a daily act of malice. So our story begins in the historical city of Makkah, where the Prophet Muhammad faced a staggering routine of disrespect. You see, whenever he would pass by a certain route, a woman would routinely throw garbage on him. Just think about the sheer disrespect and provocation of that act. Yet the text notes something incredibly profound about his reaction. He never responded with anger, not even once. Every single day, this was the painful routine, a woman throwing garbage on him as he walked by. But then, one day, the pattern breaks. No garbage. Now, let's be honest, most of us would just breathe a huge sigh of relief and walk a little faster. But instead, the prophet actually notices her absence and actively asks about her whereabouts. Shortly after, he discovers she's ill. The very person who tormented him daily is now vulnerable and sick. Section 2. An unexpected response. When an abuser is down, human nature might totally tempt someone to view it as karma, right? Or even celebrate the fact that the daily harassment has finally stopped. But the text highlights an action here that completely defies those conventional expectations. This is the core dynamic of the entire story. You have the woman's consistent malice on one hand, and in stark contrast, the prophet extends this profound mercy. Instead of retaliating or even just ignoring her, he actually goes to visit her sickbed to ask about her health. The source text explicitly notes that she was absolutely amazed by this. His compassion, right in the face of her cruelty, completely touched her hurt. Section 3. The measure of true strength. We're shifting gears a bit here, moving from the literal events of the narrative to the philosophical takeaway. What does this interaction actually teach us? Well, our source material explicitly redefines what power looks like. True strength isn't about dominating an opponent or seeking harsh retaliation. Not at all. Instead, it tells us that true strength is shown through patience in the face of provocation, forgiveness when someone is vulnerable, and maintaining good character regardless of how others treat you. And that brings us to a really timeless directive from the Qur'an, specifically chapter 41, verse 34, which says, "Repel evil with what is better." It's such a powerful concept. You don't just ignore evil, and you certainly don't match it with more evil. You actively repel it by introducing something significantly better into the equation. And in this case, that was profound mercy. Section 4. History, authenticity, and lessons. Now, what's really interesting here is how vital it is when studying historical texts to view popular narratives through a strictly scholarly and objective lens. Let's break this down impartially for a second. While the specific story of the garbage-throwing woman is incredibly popular, many scholars actually note that it has a weak chain of historical narration. However, and this is the absolute crucial part, the core lesson here, mercy, forgiveness, responding to bad with good, is firmly backed by authentic Islamic teachings. So while the literal event might be debated by historians, the ethical model it represents is an undisputed pillar of the faith. Which brings us right back to you. How can you apply this model of mercy to conflicts in your own life? Look, we all face moments of friction, disrespect, or even malice. The next time you find yourself stuck in a cycle of negativity, I want you to remember the framework we explored today. Ask yourself, is there a way to break the pattern by repelling that negativity with something better? It takes immense strength, for sure, but as we've seen, it's a strength that has the power to amaze people and truly touch hearts. So, the next time hostility comes your way, will you react with the same old anger, or will you choose to repel evil with what is better? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.